Hi, you're watching Our Talk. I'm Jujhar Singh. We have with us today the two good-looking, seventh-generation sarod-playing brothers, Amaan and Ayaan Ali Khan. Both of them are very well known as a pair, but how different are they from each other? We're going to find out. Amaan and Ayaan, a warm welcome to Our Talk.
Thank you.
You know, both your names begin with A. Both of you play the sarod. Both of you have learned the sarod from your father and guru, Saad Amjad Ali Khan. You perform frequently with each other. On the face of it, both of you are very similar to each other.
I like to say that, yes, the names are very similar, and that's one of the main reasons that...
Even your clothes are similar today.
Very similar, yes.
Well, the color is.
Basically, the name, because of the name, a lot of people think we both are twins, though that's not true. We're 2 years apart from each other.
You're the older one.
I'm the older one.
Yeah. People talk about Amaan and Ayaan. It's like,
together,
it's
yes.
like a pair, like you said, like twins.
I think what also happened in our case was the fact that because we are brothers, and though we did start off our careers as soloists, and even now actually we do a lot of concerts by ourselves as well. But it just so happens, I think there's more demand for us to play together.
Play together.
And there was a time when we were turning those concerts down, but then we just realized that it wasn't making sense because there were more offers always for us to play together. But having said that, we do keep our solo careers quite active.
By the way, another common factor between the two of you, because I've seen you a few times now over the years, is that both of you are very well mannered. Okay. And you know how to show respect to your seniors, especially the senior musicians.
Well, that comes with the profession because, Jujhar bhai, what happens is that in our profession, there are two things that coexist with each other. That is hard work and humility. And if you see the rise or the downfall of any musician or any person in creative line, because of these two things, either he loses hard work or he loses humility. And that is something we were taught before my father had handed over the sarod to us. And he said that even I cannot help you if you leave one of them, as in hard work or humility.
Well, even your father's a very soft-spoken, gentle kind of person, isn't he?
You know where it's coming from.
So now
sometimes in situations I do feel we need to kind of de-polite ourselves because sometimes politeness doesn't always pay off. But I think it's good to be polite.
But let's look at the differences now between the two of you. One, I believe, is that Ayaan, when you were small, you realized very quickly that you wanted to be a sarod player. But Amaan, I believe you were a little bit confused on the score.
Well, I was not very much keen. When I say young, I'm talking about when I was 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, not after that. I think about 11, 12, I knew exactly what my calling was, and I discovered that this is the best thing I could ever do, because I was not a very talented student in school, nor was I very good with any other thing. I think I was more productive towards music.
So how old were you when you realized that, okay, sarod is my calling then?
Well, it's just a realization, I think, over a period of 2, 3 concerts, bad concerts.
Which is when? Around the age of 13 or so?
Around about 11, 12, I started realizing what my calling was.
What happened?
I think my father was not too well after one of the concerts I played in London at Logan Hall when I was, I think, about 12 years old, and I think I was about 10.
Both of you had played together?
Yes, again.
Yes, yet again.
Yet again.
You were only 13 then.
Yeah.
So, and I think that had a bad effect on my father's health.
Because you didn't perform well?
So the concert didn't go off the way it should have.
No, it was not about performing well or performing badly. It was that I performed without being involved in my performance.
And it came out?
It comes out.
And your father saw it?
Correct. See,
he was in the audience.
So what happened after the concert? What did your father say?
No, he didn't speak to me. He was unwell.
As a result?
As a result.
He just got some temperature, I think, that kind of a thing. And we kind of, him especially, I think, had this realization that, there's no looking back from this day.
Father's happy now?
I hope he's happy. He smiles. You see him smiling.
But there's always room for, in any creative field, I think the sky is the limit.
How competitive are you with each other?
We are competitive enough in order to, I think we both use each other's presence as an inspiration. Because I always believe, and I'm not trying to sound honey and sugar, but it's true. I always feel that siblings, if they're born together, it's for a reason, and you have the whole world to compete with. You don't have to compete
with each other.
Because see, when I see my brother, I see my mother and father in him. They live through him. They live through me. So you cannot compete with your parents.
I want to ask you, your approaches and styles to the sarod are very different. Why don't you in fact describe how you're different from each other, and perhaps you can demonstrate your difference on the sarod for us?
Surely.
Yeah, I think honestly, for us as musicians, I think it's very difficult to kind of subjectively look at your work and say this is me or this is not me. But I think, like I said, the nature reflects onto what you play.
Yeah.
So perhaps unknowingly, many people do say that, you know, both your instruments sound different or you sound different. So
And the rags that both of you prefer will be different.
we have our own choices. I think.
We have when we say we prefer certain rags is because we connect with them better. Like there are rags that are common to both of us. There are rags that he connects more, and there are rags that I connect more. So I think Ayaan, why don't you present something first?
I think just play a composition in Rageshri. Again, it's a very traditional rag.
Yeah. Very nice rag. Thank you. Okay, Amaan, your turn now.
Yeah, so that was Rageshri, and I'll play a rag.
Is this a
which
contest?
I'm trying to find out, you know, how both of you are different.
It's a rag called Yaman Kalyan,
Yeah,
which was one of the first rags that I was taught by my father.
Yeah.
And I play one composition.
And a lot of people's favorite rag.
Yes, and one composition of my grandfather's.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Of course, your sarots sound very different, but your styles are different as well. I mean,
think so?
yeah, well, I mean, you appear more controlled, like in the way you approach the sarod, than Ayaan is a little more carefree.
But I think that's the nature also that he's
More carefree.
carefree. I am a bit.
He's the younger brother.
Yes,
I think I can get away with
I've
it.
become reserved due to the way life is educated.
But listen, you know, if your styles are so different from each other, how come you play together so much with each other?
I think we both are addicted to each other, and because we've grown up together, and I think it's beautiful to spend time with your sibling.
Yeah, but Ayaan, musically speaking, I mean,
Yeah.
would you prefer with each other or prefer to be solo?
In all honesty, I know that any creative field, and especially Indian classical music, is something very individualistic. And like I said, we've kept our solo careers very active. My brother just performed at a very big festival in India, the Doverlane Festival.
Right.
And I'm scheduled to play somewhere else. So, you know, sometimes, some people are very clear on who they want to call, and they want to have a solo concert by my brother, by me.
But which
Like
one
I-
do you prefer? Or both are all right?
You know, I enjoy doing both.
Tell me, your father's your idol, right?
Right.
And of course, Ayaan, you're a painter as well, and I know, in fact, I've seen just before this interview, there's so many paintings that you've done hanging in your house.
That's my
You've-
mother's
You've
love
done
and
Lord
my
Ganesha. You've also been painting a lot of your father when you were young.
He pretty much was and is my hero. So I think, like for every son, I think the father is always the hero. So I think that I would even dress up like him actually when I would practice as a kid, you know, and completely ridicule myself.
How's
doing
that?
He used to wear glasses on stage in the 80s, you know, I would just
Wrap a
wear
shawl.
plastic glasses, wrap just a sheet around me thinking it's one of his Jamewa shawls, you know, those kind of things. But again, like the painting part, it's just like a creative extension which I do once in a while. I did have an exhibition years ago, but then that gallery shut down. Not because of me, but it just shut down for some odd reason.
And you know, we were talking earlier about how both your styles are different from each other, but your styles are also different from your father's.
Well, I think, it's a compliment. Thank you very much. But it's a blessing. I think that's really a blessing. Because sometimes, you know, if you just end up doing exactly what your father has already done.
I was reading somewhere, in fact, Amaan, that you know, you once said that whereas your father plays in a very softly melodic manner, for example, in your case, you are more into speed. You like that. That's your forte.
Well, I think I made my weakness. I'm trying to make my weakness as my forte because maybe I cannot produce the melody that well the way Ayaan does it or my father does it. So I changed my track.
Yeah. So everybody will have their own strengths and their
Everybody
own
needs to
weaknesses.
Everybody needs to be intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, everything will follow, but till it's not following you, you follow something else.
Okay. Well, since you're a speed demon, why don't you demonstrate that to us?
That's trying to be speedy.
As good as it gets.
It's a bit of the demon over there. Okay, I'll tell you what, Amaan, Ayaan, let's take a break now. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about your forays into film, television and fashion, and also about the considerable criticism you faced on that score. We'll be right back in our talk. Keep watching.